A lot of our participants are still joining in. We'll wait for a minute or so, when we'll wait for the others to join in. So for those of who've joined in, request you to please hang on there for some time. Yes, we'll be starting soon. We're just waiting for some more participants to join in. Please hang in there, those of who've joined in so far. Deepa, can you hear us? Somebody's asking, we can't hear you. Can everybody hear us? A good thumbs up will be great. Or if you can raise your hands from the participants. Group with Shall we start? Everybody, shall we start? I think we are at 5:07, and everybody is limited by time while our other participants join. I think it's a good time to start right now. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking out time and being with us today. Good evening, and welcome you all to this webinar called The Future of Design. My name is Apurva, and I work as the Senior Advisor for Anant National University. We have a whole lot of panelists here today to solve a lot of queries that you might have about design and the domain of design. And all our panelists, our esteemed panelists, come from various aspects, and that would be very helpful, which would be very helpful for you to actually delve into the thought process of whether you should take up design as a career or not. My understanding is each one of you would be interested or would have applied or would be in the process of applying for your design, for the design programs at Anant. And all your queries, please put it into the Q&A box, and we will pick it up from there, and we will try and answer as much as we can. I will start by introducing the panelists. And we start by introducing Mr. Sudhir Kuduchkar first. Sudhir represents the industry for us here. Sudhir is the chief mentor and the founder of 3 Dot Design. He's a sculptor, a director, and an educator for over 25 years of experience. He's also an NID alum, and as an educator, he has taught at multiple institutions, Anant National University, of course, being one of them, also Ahmedabad University, and multiple NIFTs, NIRMA, to name a few. Sudhir, thank you so much for taking out your time and being with us today for this webinar. I'm very sure that our participants would, learn a lot from what experience you have to share with them.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next in line is Professor Vijay Shekhon. Professor Shekhon, thank you so much again for taking out time. He brings in the academic side, the academic piece for this discussion. He's an associate professor, School of Design, Anant National University, and also a lead for the Interaction Design Department. He's an interdisciplinary artist and has worked for multiple organizations like Reliance Industries and the Oscar-winning company Merchant Ivory Productions in New York. Here at Anant, Professor Shekhon focuses on institution building and sculpting the Interaction Design Department. Professor Shekhon, thank you so much for your time and for being with us here today.
Hello, everybody. Thank you.
Next, we have a special guest, one of our Anant alums who's joining us here today, Srinath Lohana. Srinath logs in from Bombay as we speak. And Srinath is an Anant alum. He's a BDES alum who's done a major in product design and minor in visual arts and visual arts. He's done his minor in visual arts. Currently, he's doing something very interesting. He's actually rebranding a travel agency and exploring ways to gamify travel and empower the business with AI and design in Mumbai. Very, very impressive, Srinath. Very, very impressive. Calometrics is a card game which he has derived to combat climate change, and this was a result of his interdisciplinary education at Anant. Thank you, Srinath, for taking out time and being with us here today. I'm sure a lot of experience that you bring to the table will be very helpful for our students who are joining us here. Then we have Jigyasa. Jigyasa is a current student, a BDES student at Anant, with her major in product design and minor in communication design. She's a passionate designer and a multi-talented performer. Not to say the least, she had some remarkable performances that she gave for her UCEED exam, and her academic brilliance came out of the UCEED numbers, because of which she landed up with 75% scholarship at Anant. She's an active member of the Student Council and leads several student-led events. Thank you, Jigyasa. Thank you for your presence here at the event today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that.
Last but not the least, we have Yuvraj Singh Zala. Yuvraj ji is the CFO and also leads the admission function for Anant National University. For any queries that you may have on admissions, it will be directed towards Yuvraj ji. So feel free to ask as many questions as you need right now in the chat box, and we will be taking them up. As we proceed with our webinar today, I'll start by asking questions to each one of you. I'll start with Professor Vijay Shekhon to begin with. Professor Shekhon, first thing, AI, automation, sustainability, there's a lot going on. I mean, everything is changing. If a student had to join Anant in 2026, what is he actually being trained for? Is my first question to you.
Okay, yeah, hello everybody. Yeah, so much going on in terms of technology change. And I think most importantly for student to learn the fundamentals of design, how can they use those design principles to create something new, to bring about the change in the society. And the AI tools only help you augment those capabilities, help you accelerate the processes that we already use in the design process. So I think design does not change, but what changes is the process and the methodologies of working. So students are trained to use new tools. Students are trained how to integrate those new processes in their work so that they can augment their work, they can augment their processes, and they can learn the new technology that is helping them solve the complex problems of society. And as we speak, the problems of society are quite complex, and you need new kinds of tools and techniques to help you tackle those challenges. And I think AI tools help you do that.
So you're saying we prepare our students not just from the creative aspect of it, but also the technology implementation aspect in the space of design.
Definitely. I think students, when they come to Anant and when they learn to work with as an interdisciplinary design practice, because at Anant, we sort of believe in that when you go out in the world, you're not working in silos. You work with teams, you work with different kinds of designers, different kind of team members. So it's very important for you to train as an interdisciplinary designer so that when you go out, you can work well with the team. It's no longer the time of a Renaissance man. You actually need to be a Renaissance team player. So in order to work well. So that's the philosophy we go with.
That's a very powerful term to be used, Renaissance team player. I'll pick that up, but I'll move over to Sudhir to answer this. Sudhir, from what I hear Professor Shekhon saying about how he's preparing the students, integrating technology into the creative aspect of design, how do the designers really fit into our corporate world in today's date? Because from what I hear Professor Shekhon saying that design is a lot about problem solving. Now, how does that integrate well into the corporate space?
Yeah, because see, in corporate, what happens is I need somebody in corporate who is Swiss knife, who is equipped with different tools, different technology. That is being seen as a central strength of a student or new fresh joinee. So as much as you know technology, as much as you know the fundamentals of design, that will create a space for you in corporate. And in corporates, you have, again, as Vijay also said, you are not going to work in a silo, you are going to work with a team. So you have to be very strong with what you have learned. Multiple talent is welcomed in corporate because you are not only focusing on one problem solving, you have multiple problems to solve. I think being a Swiss knife will, help you to get into a corporate world. That will be the best fit.
Swiss knife. That's another interesting term that I picked up today. My next question goes to Srinath. Very, very recently, you made us transition from the academic space into the corporate world. And, what is that one skill, Srinath, that you really picked up during your time at Anant, which actually, when you hit the road, you were ready to run with?
That's a lovely question, and I'd say it's collaboration, teamwork, and communication. You are working, as Sir Sudhir sir and Vijay sir both said, you are not working alone. You're working in a company, you're working with 10 different people. It is important for you to understand what is expected out of you. It is important for you to know what you are doing at your best, and it is important for you to communicate it ahead, because it's a system. When you're working in the corporate or in the real life, things are not like design projects, what you do in college to understand concepts. These are things that you're doing in the real life that matter and is going to be financially backed, or it's going to make a real world impact. And there are 10 different things that are going to impact and have a say in your design process. So I think collaboration for sure, having common studios, having vertical studios in Anand was something that we really enjoyed, and that really brought in the sense that design doesn't happen while sitting in a bubble. It happens out there, and you have to put yourself out there regardless of whether you're confident, not confident. You think you can do it, you don't think you can do it. You don't think much, just start doing is what I'd say helps a lot.
Interesting. Again, Very interesting perspective. Jigyasa, you're fresh into the academic space. Fourth semester? Yes?
Yes.
When you started thinking, let's look at the mind shift. When you started thinking that I would pick up design, to when you actually did pick up design and became a part of the institution, what is the change and what is the difference that you noticed?
So, I'm coming from a background where I did not have designers around me. So I had an idea of design being something that you deliver, something that's just visually aesthetic and not really that something elaborative and something that involves a lot of thinking. But when I came to college and I experienced firsthand the design process, I experienced it when I first experienced it. I realized how intensive it is, right? There's a lot of ideation that goes behind. There's a lot of, community thinking that you need to do. There's a lot of real-time problems that you need to think about and understand about a community. So the intensity and the elaborative nature of, the process of design was something that I learned, and which was, something that, really caused a shift when I first came to college. Yes.
Great, nice, very good. Sudhirji, very quickly, Srinath mentioned about collaboration, communication. These are the skills that he really used to actually hit the road running. How are companies really hiring designers today? Are they looking at these skills, or are they looking at, what design roles will the company look for in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think because the most maximum asked question is, do AI kill the designers? I say no. AI is the tool. Make AI as your power tool. Understand that, because that's the future. So companies and corporates are looking for designers who understand all these and use these tools as a power tool and improve the design, improve the thinking process. So even AI helps you to save time. So you can utilize that time in creative thinking. See, Srinath said design process. So you can focus more on processes. So the companies around in the industry, they are looking for designers who are understanding these tools and they are ready to take it ahead. I think futuristic thinking is more important. How better you understand and adapt the newer tools and use them as your power tools. I think that is what the industry is looking for. And another 5-10 years, I think we will be amazingly shifting to a lot of new tools. AI is just starting. I think we will have number of tools and we have to be geared up. We need to gear up as a designer to learn these tools and utilize them to our side to improve our capabilities, not fearing that they will eat our jobs. I think that's what even the companies are looking for. They're looking for designers who will really take this towards them.
True, very true. Professor Shekhar, my next question would be to you. Um, we all understand the way Gen Z really learns has completely changed from the way we used to learn in the yesteryears. How do we cater to this change in learning process? Do we teach differently because learning has changed? And along with this, I will also want to look into the future to understand going ahead. Will the design degrees carry more weightage, or will portfolios carry more weightage? Is a corporate work the right work? A student who's an 18-year-old or 17, 18-year-old wanting to get into design has multiple questions in the head. So what do you think? There are two questions. Of course, I've mixed up two questions, but I'll let you answer them one by one. First, I would like to understand as to how the teaching pedagogy or the methodology is different at Anant, so that because our Gen Z learns differently. Professor Shekhar, can you hear us?
Yeah, now I lost you for a second, but
Okay.
But I gather the question is, one is on the Gen Z, the learning process,
Yes.
and I believe I missed the second part, but I'll come to it once I answer the
Yes.
first part.
Okay.
I have a slightly different view on this, so pardon me on that. I think the Gen Z and Gen Alpha a lot of times becomes like a marketing ploy. At the end of the day, we are all humans. We have the same, we have the same capability and the same possibility. So let's kind of keep that in perspective. And learning process at the university, students, essentially we focus on students to take more responsibility, to have ethical practices, and develop a rigor in their own process and take the leadership role in design. So, everything needs to change now. The world we live in cannot continue the way we are. The same processes cannot continue. We need to take change. We need to sort of embrace change. We need to take initiatives. And I think training students to take that initiative, to think boldly, to think beyond the sort of normal paradigm is what the Anand, at what we really aim for students to take on. So I think that's where the real thrust is. And once students learn to take responsibility, they learn to focus, they learn to take things seriously, they learn how to finish things, they learn how to, when the jobs are given to them, they can deliver it to the end. I think that is a sacrosanct. They work in any industry. Any industry wants young people to be more ethical, to be responsible, so that the jobs given are done beyond not just what is being asked, but beyond the expectation. I think that's where we emphasize, that's where we like to focus, and that's what students get trained for.
So, a lot of times, students who are aspiring to take up design have this question that will a degree matter going forward? Will freelancing be the way to go? Will a corporate job be the way to go? What will be the right way going forward, and what does the future look like?
Yeah, I think, there's a difference between, getting trained to do a job, then coming to a university where you get trained to think at a systems level. You not only think in your own sort of tools or softwares that you are trained to use, but you can look at the picture as a whole, like what's going on, and you can work with others to create and to embrace and to enable change and to enable go to the goal where you want to go. You learn to fail. You learn to fail in a systematic way, but to in order to reach success. So design helps you do that. Design helps you go beyond all those normal sort of ideas we have, like what the university's degree will be relevant. Of course, that's the only place you learn to think in a systematic way, and where you work with other teams, with other students, with other departments. You learn to work with them. And I think that's the difference between getting trained for a particular tool or a particular software versus coming to a university as an ecosystem and learning. So that's a big difference. So I think university degrees will remain relevant for the foreseeable future. And I think it will become more relevant, especially now when the world is on the climatic sort of catastrophe and there are many massive complex challenges. We need new kinds of designers. We need new kinds of thinkers. We need new kinds of leaders who can create the new world that we all need to sort of make the life more sustainable on Earth. So I think design is here to stay. Education, college education is here to stay for a while.
Great. My next question, actually, Yuvrajji, we have somebody asking a lot of questions about the hostel and about the facilities. So I'll direct the question towards you, and then I think Jigyasa can top it up because she's living right there in the hostel. So somebody is asking, good evening, ma'am. Please tell each and every detail about the hostel and their facilities, and also share the detail about trips and educational tours that are organized or not.
Yeah, thank you, Purva, for giving me this opportunity, and warm welcome to all the participants and the panelists over here. Regarding the hostel, if I say we have a state-of-art kind of a facility when it comes to the hostel facility, we do have the hostel facility available on campus. Yeah, there is a ample kind of a space, and it's a two sharing, air condition, and that includes each and everything, like providing the facilities. And I think I will leave it to our current students to speak about the same, Jigyasa. But the second part about having the whether any international trip or no, we have just concluded the trip to the Singapore. There are 5 to 7 more trips about the international, that's we call it as an RSP, related study programs. That's been planned, and the near one is the trip to Japan. So there are many such activities which do carry out during the academic part. So yes, that's the second part. And now, Jigyasa, it would be better sitting at the hostel. You can say more about the hostel facilities.
Just for all you participants to know, Jigyasa is right sitting inside the hostel as she attends this webinar. So I would like her to give us a live update about how the hostel feels like and what are the facilities out there.
So having a typical, outlook of what a hostel looks like, like dull rooms and, a boring space and, just a cluttered place where a lot of people are. Honestly, our hostel looks nothing like that. The rooms given to us are very spacious. They definitely feel like home. That's for sure. That's one thing that I can put my word to. We have a good amount of space. We have enough of, storage given in our rooms. And I think everything's just pretty easy for us here. It's not like we have a lot of problems. We have a pantry, where we can cook. We've been provided with induction stoves, with microwaves, and yeah, and then we have a good amount of facilities given to us even downstairs. We have a games room where, you can just chill out. We have a pool table, we have carom, chess, etc. So I think it's a good environment that has been built when it comes to the hostel here.
Okay. Have you been a part of any of the tours, the educational tours? Which
No.
Not yet?
Not
Okay.
yet.
My next question is to Srinath. And Srinath, and again, somebody is asking this question on the group, and I'll read it out, saying, ma'am, yesterday I was researching on Reddit, and a lot of designers there said that the design is not a stable career. And that at one point you will find yourself doing full-time freelance. So I'm getting very confused that if I should really go ahead in this career or not. So I just wanted to know, is there really any need for designers? And some people also said that they will only earn a very small amount. I wouldn't like to mention the amount here that is mentioned here. And so how does it, I would like you to sort this problem. This participant has sent Srinath about whether design is a stable career. Number one, is it a full-time career? Number two, and number three is he also says that people will not earn as much. Is that the real face of the industry? Since you are right now, you've recently moved from college to the industry. So
Yes.
I'll
So,
let you take that up.
starting with stable, you need your own skill sets. You need to believe on your skill sets, and you need to continuously work on your skill sets. You cannot be stuck saying, I will do only this much. And because today, as with AI, you need to enable yourself to become more than what you were yesterday. And with the fast changing of tools, you need to catch that pace. That's one. Second, freelance is also a full-time thing. We are designers. We have the creativity spikes at 4 in the morning. That's when our peak era of designing, like for just before Judy's and having reliving that. And I'll tell you, I have my friends who are working crazy hours and at crazy times, and that is the lifestyle they've chosen, and design gives you that space to do that. You wake up at 12 in the morning and you're able to start your work at 2, and then it's all about how you want to go about it, and that is the freedom that you get in freelance. But it's not also dreamy as well. When you're doing freelance, you also have to take care of your own invoices, your own scheduling, your own there's a lot of admin stuff that you have to do all by yourself, which would be completely different scenario if you're a part of a studio or a part of a corporate, because they have set out that structure for you. So 9 to 5 is one, freelance is one. Some people do both. So it's just what kind of style that you are okay with and what suits you. I would highly recommend for people to try out different things before having to say, oh, I will just do this. It's best to have an experience of different things before choosing your best thing. And what is the third thing, ma'am? I lost track.
People don't earn as much.
Yeah, no. That is a very subjective thing. You can earn great amount of things and very less amount of things. It's depending on how you present it. It depends on what kind of projects you're working for. And it becomes a very simple thing to say that designers won't earn enough if you have heard about small projects. There are big projects coming in. And I'd like to mention this that with AI, you also need someone to say what you want. You need designers to tell you no, this is not what you want. You need someone to have that vision. You need someone to have that sense of taste. And that is what you build in the 4 years that you are in your college. You are developing that taste, you're developing that skill set to say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Because AI has enabled, but it only comes with practice. So I'd say you guys are safe, but you need to do hard work. You can't just sit, okay, oh, I'm a designer, I will earn so much, yay. You need to put in that hard work, and
Constant upskilling is equally required in the design
exactly,
space.
and it
Yes.
is different. It's a different kind of hard work. It's not necessarily seen every time, but it shows over a period of time. So have faith in the process and keep at it.
We also have someone, Anshita Das, asking about placement. And on what basis is the placement happen? On what is is it on a performance basis? What are the benefits that we can get? But before I ask this question to you, Yuvrajji, I would like to also tell the audience that all of us here on the panel, including me, including me, all of us have come from the education space, and we've seen institutions grow. What an institution can, and I'd like to tell this to all the participants, is what an institution can do is give you all the facilities. The best facilities can be provided to you. The best education can be provided to you. The best kind of pedigree of faculty can be provided to you. Quality faculty, very highly skilled faculty can be provided to you. You can have exposure in terms of global exposure. You as a person, and Jigyasa, you'll have to agree or not agree, Jigyasa and Srinath, you as a person have to really push yourself and be out there to get the maximum benefit that you can get for yourself. Is that the right thing to say?
Yes, ma'am. Agreed.
100%.
So even placements, I think, works in the same manner, right? So while you can have somebody who it's the same classroom, the same batch of students. Somebody being placed at 5 lakhs versus somebody getting placed at 15 lakhs. What is the difference? Yuvrajji, if you want to just take this up, it will be helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Apurva. As you rightly said, but recently the only package, it is not only the matter of placement. Here at Anand, we do consider the three main things about the placement. One being the Gujarat. We know very well, many of the designers are looking forward to have the entrepreneurship. So right from the day one, from the first semester itself, we are including the entrepreneurship courses over there, so that if one is looking forward to have the placement as an entrepreneur, we help them to have that. We do have the Office of Global Engagement, through which we help them to secure the admissions at the master's level at the global or the renowned universities across the India too. And the third part, which you rightly said about the placement, where the placement at the company. Yes, we do have this support which we do provide to the students, and nearly more than 100 companies are visiting us for the campus placement and all. As you rightly said, 5 lakh and 15 lakh. Apurva, is really great when I when somebody was talking about the Gen Z. Right now there are many students who have received the, let's say, 15 lakh package and also 5 lakh package, but they choose to go over there at the 5 lakh package because that is of the interest. So yes, we do provide the placement facilities, and that not only for the placement at the company, but at this level as an entrepreneurship also, and also at the level of getting them the, I can say, the placement for the further studies too.
Thank you so much. That, I think, clarifies the question. Professor Shekhar, I have a question for you from Satish. He's asking, how is animation at Anand? Is it 2D or 3D animation or movie making? Not much information available yet. Please help in understanding about. He also asks another question about placement opportunities in animation. That's the next question. So basically, he wants to understand the animation space which we are providing in Anant.
Yeah, so animation is majorly focused in our department called Moving Image. That's where the animation and also communication design to some extent also has animation. So both these departments, I actually come from interaction. But what I understand is it's both 2D and 3D. I've seen students producing 2D animations. I've seen students producing 3D animations as well. And in my department, also in interaction, students work with a lot of students actually go into game design after graduating. So they work with both 3D and 2D and also board games. Srinath is here, he did the card game. So we also organize like a game jam every year, which is like a global assembly of leading game designers coming to Anant and working with students. So we also do that. So yeah, both 2D and 3D at Anant in moving image and communication majorly, but to some extent in interaction also.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope that answers your question, Sudhir. Now, my next question is to Mr. Sudhir Kutuchkar. What does a designer, young designer, need to have to stand out in an interview? Are you looking at which university, what degree, or are you looking at the portfolio when you're hiring on people in the industry?
That's a very typical question. Lot of students ask me this. Sir, क्या करें? बाहर market में क्या हाल है? That's a very very typical question. But let me answer. I am taking from what Srinath said. Srinath said that you need to keep your work, your portfolio, what matters, because what out there in the industry, people are looking for your portfolio. Yeah, definitely. Even I'm taking it from Vijay that, your education qualification is necessary. You need to have that base from the design university you are doing. But above all, it's all personal. It's about you should love your work and you should be presenting it well in the interview that this is mine, I have created, you should own it, and the portfolio speaks more. I am not declining education. It has to be there. It should not be only the portfolio, but both should be equally strong. And the sky's the limit. Once you present your work in an interview, they really see the work and it's your capability. I think the portfolio is the king, with definitely backed with your degrees. That is.
So I think even Lakshmi Preetham is asking the same question. What portfolio projects make a design student stand out? I think you partly answered that question itself right now. So
you should love it. You're presenting your work. If you love your work, you will speak boldly. You will present it with love, and the interviewer will understand. Bapre, they made such lovely projects. And I'm also saying for fresh graduates, they should not be putting themselves down because they say, oh, I don't have a realistic project to show in portfolio. Hardly matters. If you present your classroom projects as a professional project, present it well, upload it online, show the world what you can do. I think that will impress the interviewer. So
primarily it's the thought process which has gone into the project, into the portfolio, and your presentation skills both match here.
So you should also talk about design processes because you are educated as a designer. It will keep you on a top line if you have competition, because there are a lot of people will be interviewed. So if you understand processes, design principle, that will help you to jump to the next level in interview.
Interesting. So I hope that answers your question. I think I missed out who was asking the question, but yes, I hope that answers. Srinath, next question to you is, if you could go back and think through this question, because this is a tough one, I think. If you could go back and change one thing about how you used your time in college, what would it be?
I'm sure this answer is also going to be as shocking. I'd say nothing. Because I feel I have made the most of my time at the college, be it competitions, be it events, be it academics, be it taking initiatives and just putting myself completely out there. So I've had this anecdote a lot from my friends that they see me in the mess going in the opposite direction, and the next moment they see me in the hostel mess.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Yuvraj sir, Vijay sir, Sudhir sir can vouch for this. And I can't just express how much I miss that right now. I feel if I had a chance to go back and just be that version, I would love to be that, because you can't be that version out there because the things are different. You have a corporate farm, Dimkan, everything. But that sense of, I would say, delusional optimism that I had at that time, which the
Mm.
real world sort of attacks because of actual things, which is for sure. But that small key, you don't think twice. You just, chalo, ye karte hain. Let's just give it a shot. We'll see what is supposed to happen. What will happen? We'll see. That fire, that kind of spark is something that one should kindle and continue to have. And yeah, I'm sorry, but if the answer is not what you expected,
No,
I'd
no.
say
Srinath, let me come in. I remember you doing taking the initiative of trying to do a big performance. I mean,
yes.
being a product designer, being he doing this and performance, and that was also very good. And that's what I
Thank you,
remember
sir.
very, very
Thank
clearly.
you. And
Great.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember being coach one of the events where I was the one writing the script, I was the one anchoring, I was the one in student council as president, I was the one doing the lineup, and obviously I had my team. It's never possible without the team. But when you speak as an individual, it's just you put yourself out there and things happen. So yeah, I'd say I'd change nothing when I go back.
Yeah, and from what you also say that it just brings back the thoughts from my college days when, I always believe after having seen so much in the education space that education just does not confine to classrooms. What you do beyond the classroom, in the cafeteria, in the hostel, on the stage, organizing, that is all that leads up to building a personality which you can actually put forward when you go out in the corporate world.
Absolutely,
You know?
100%.
I
Okay,
think,
Jigyasan, sorry, yeah,
sorry,
please.
Apurva. I think you nailed a very important point that at the universities you actually develop that attitude, attitude of
True,
working, attitude
true,
of
true.
how do you take things, and I think that stays with you beyond anything else. You might forget what tool you learned, what software you learned. Maybe you actually will never use it in your life, but what will
True.
not go away is that the attitude you develop and the practice you develop, the way you do things. I think that stays with you for a long, long, long
Absolutely.
time.
And the networking and the
Yeah.
faculty, years later, I'm sure when your time at NID, you would still remember the best professors that you had and the best hangout joints on campus. All of that would be memories. Jigyasa, my question to you is, so how does a normal week or a normal day, if you want to take, if week is too long, a normal day in your life look like? Classes, projects, stress, fun, all of it. Tell me about it.
That's a very interesting question put forward to me. So, in a design college, you don't have anything that is typical. Okay, every week is different and it looks different. It's always a chaos. It's always a lot of drama when it comes to your assignments, your submissions hovering over your head. You have feedback sessions and you're scared, and then then at the same time, as Srinath also had mentioned earlier, working late night in the spaces that you've been provided. I think all of that fun elements that just add up to it. That's what navigating through all of that chaos is something that remains constant throughout our weeks. And some weeks you have creative blocks and some weeks you have creative flows, and I think it's just a balance of work and life altogether working out. So there's nothing as typical. It's always a new experience, new week, new learnings. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Wonderful,
thank you,
wonderful.
Jigyasa. I would like to add one more thing that Jigyasa and Srinath will vouch this. None of our building is having a gate which should be closed at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock like in typical institution or so. You will not find any gate except the entrance gate. Because we believe that if you are here on campus and if you would like to use the makerspace library or many such kind of spaces till the 11 o'clock, we do allow the students to be there at the academic place. It's not like that चलो 5 बज गए 6 बज गए अभी निकलो यहाँ से और आप अपने हॉस्टल में जाके काम करो ये वो. Because typically design is like in many of the projects which you need to do while working in a group. and working at the makerspace, library, and all these facilities to use at the best possible manner. That is what we are aiming to, and that's why it's like an really a very great collaborative where the students are taking lead by themselves and becoming a that kind of an cohesive experience. Yeah.
So
I'd like to
I was
add to
coming to
that.
you.
Sorry.
Sorry, please,
Yeah,
Srinath.
I completely remember this. We would go and take special permissions during competitions and submissions. Ki, sir, here is a list of students and here is what we're going to work on. Please allow us to stay the entire night. We will be occupying only this part of the campus. And obviously we have to go through that process, but I'm very thankful that we had that kind of provisions as well. 11 o'clock, the gate closes for academic buildings, but when you have proved yourself to be that hardworking and be that dedicated set of people who the institution knows that they're going to work and they're working towards something consciously. So that makes a lot of difference, that even though there are these things that you have to make sure as an institution, they've always made space for us. So yeah,
No, I
this
think
This is so lovely to hear.
adding to Srinath, that keeps the vibe alive. I think that's the Gen
absolutely
Z word. Ki your
yes,
vibe is there because design,
100%.
after dinner you can feel, अरे यार मुझे अभी वो रह गया, I need to go to the space again. So
Yes.
I think that keeps the vibe alive, and that design institutes, they need to be like this. Otherwise, 5 बजे ताला लगा दिया तो गए फिर काम से, मतलब सोचना
Yeah,
बंद कर दो.
yeah,
So I think
No, and
let's call it,
Sudhir ji,
let's
what
call
a
it,
pleasure it must be for the faculty to have such enterprising students to,
yeah,
teach.
yeah.
Somebody who comes forward and somebody
When
who pushes themselves through. It must be such a pleasure to teach such
when they
students.
need space, I think we need to allow them, and because as Srinath also said कि रात से सवेरे 4 बजे भी उसको कुछ you will feel, अरे मुझे अभी ये करना है, ये कट करना है वर्कशॉप में जाके, तो he can do it. So I think the vibe is the correct word, where I say Anant has that vibe where you feel, you get that freedom, you feel that vibe. I think
Creativity
that's,
should not have any guardrails.
yeah. That should, that
Yeah.
should.
Fine. So, Yuvraj ji, a lot of people are asking about scholarships. So maybe it'll be a good idea if you can give them an overview of scholarships. What are the criteria? Is UC the only criteria? ADEPT is the criteria? A lot of people are asking multiple questions about scholarships. If you just take us through it, overview, I think it'll answer all their questions.
Yeah, sure, Apurva. I have been replying to many parents
Yes.
also about the scholarship. We do have one of the best scholarship for the design aspirants. We understand that there is some merit scholarship based on the UC scores and all. But we know very well that as you all aware that we conduct the ADEP also in the different language. So we are a firm believer that the language in a finance should not become the barrier for those who are looking forward to have the educations. So we do provide the need-based scholarship also. We have our robust system where do invite applications. We do collect the certain documents. Based on that, we have our financial aid committee who review, and then we do provide the scholarship. Our scholarship range from 10% to 100% on a tuition fee when it comes to the need-based scholarship. Yes, we do provide, and that's not only based on the income criteria. Also, we do check about the sibling studying, whether is any kind of an health issue with the family and all. So our form capture all these things. So I do hereby request that whenever you are filling up the form, please fill up the form very cautiously, because sometimes it may happen that an important thing which while taking the decision is mentioned over there, and you may miss out that. So that's about the need-based scholarship. We do provide the merit-based scholarship based on the UC score. And I know very well many of the participants have already scored the great marks and having the rank over here. So as of now, I can say nearly 40 to 45% of our intake is through the UC scholar. So yes, we are the priority in that case. So plus, in addition to this, we do provide the scholarship to the defense wards too. And I'm requesting keep visiting our website for more things about the NID and NIPT rank and all other things also. We may come up with this. So But unlike others, we would not like to touch upon very early. We are just thinking loud, and we will come up with the more meritorious scholarship too.
Thank you. To you again, Yuvrajji, one more question. Somebody is asking about sports facilities on campus, and please let us know if cricket is offered in sports also or not.
Ma'am, cricket is the very basic thing.
Okay,
We do provide the horse riding.
lovely.
So,
There you go.
we are fortunate that one of our, I can say, the sister concern, Vijay Bharati Foundation, which is a leading for the sports facilities, where they provide sports facility up to the athlete levels. So right now we are having the top 100 programs, and nearly 100 students have enrolled to have the national or international kind of a competition. And they are having the international coaches who are training them. Let's say forget about the cricket, football, badminton, and many other indoor and outdoor facilities are there. Horse riding is there. We have one of the students who is an international ranker for the shooting. So all these sports facilities are already available on campus. It's a 78-acre dedicated campus for the design. I can say that we are not limiting ourselves with the only one building or a few floors or something. Yes, it's a 78-acre campus dedicated. In addition to this, there are many facilities which we are sharing with our sister concerns. Yeah.
So we have somebody who's writing, I have an All India rank of 66666 in USEED. How much scholarship will I get? And I also gave ADEPT, but never got to know much about the scholarship. I'm sure these admission questions, the admission counselors can directly take it up. And to all of you who have these questions, please contact the admission counselors, and they will. I think they'll be more than happy to answer your questions on this.
And one more thing, Purvaji, I would like to mention over here that all our scholarships are for the entire 4-year duration. It's not only
Lovely.
limited with for the first year, because that is the something while taking the admissions or having the scholarship, one need to be very much mindful, because sometimes it may happen that it's for we are giving so much scholarship, but it's only limited with the 1 year. No doubt, we don't want the students to lose on the academics, and also there are certain things like attendance mandatory, minimum CGPA. There should not be any kind of an I can say warning or something to them, so that you may lose the scholarship. Yeah, there are certain restrictions for the renewal which need to be there, but all our scholarship are for the entire duration of their graduation. It's not limiting for the first year, second year, or limiting for the particular period. Yeah.
Wonderful. But this is very unlike a lot of other institutions in the category where they get limited to the first year itself. My next question is to Professor Shekhon. Harini is asking, hello ma'am, just one question. Do you see stronger career opportunities for home decor designers in India, or are international markets more supportive of design-led practices?
So I guess this question is more about our department called
Interior.
Space Design.
Mm.
So in Anand, Space Design is very unique department. It's very unlike other, interior design sort of departments offered at different institutes. At Anand, I think Space Design has a wider sort of mandate in terms of not only thinking about interiors, but thinking about exhibition design, thinking about creating experiences. So it's a much more evolved sort of department in terms of dealing with spaces and not limiting itself to just doing interior. But I think because new kinds of spaces are coming up which require designers to think in a more interdisciplinary manner, and I think our space designers are well equipped to sort of take that up. And our space design department actually is one of the most successful departments. It's doing wonderful. There are lots of students coming in and working at different places all over India. So, yeah.
So there is another question for you, Professor Shekhon, which comes in from somebody who's anonymous, but saying, as someone who's interested in interaction and communication design, what software should I start using before getting into college?
Yeah. I always say this as an anecdote. When I went to college, I learned certain softwares. By the time I graduated, those softwares were no longer in the market. So that's a issue with softwares. Having said that, I think if you're coming to interaction designs, I would say focus on learning the fundamentals. Like if you learn the logic of coding before you come, then you will able to adapt better to the different kinds of softwares that is introduced in the department. So learn the logic of coding rather than a particular, focus on a particular language. So learn that very well. So focus on those fundamentals that will really help you more rather than a software. And if you want, you can sort of, explore 3D, you can explore a bit of entire Adobe suite. You can do all that, but I would request you to focus more on these fundamental aspects of learning rather than a particular software. And read widely, as widely as you can, and educate yourself as widely as you can, and that will help you more than just a particular software. Rest we will
True.
take care. Don't worry, we'll take care of all the others. Because I have students coming in who have no background in coding, who have no background in sort of using, technology as per. But a lot of students after graduating, they are focusing on, a lot of work is focused on technology. A lot of work is focused on using code as a sort of fundamental aspect of their practice. So yes, all that is possible within the 4 years. So no need to get scared on ये software सीख के आएंगे ये क्या है. Just educate yourself well before coming.
To mean to say, keep your foundation strong,
Yes.
right? So we have a very interesting question from a parent who's here. And Rekha Makati ji is here, and she's a parent. And I think I'll let this question go to Srinath. As a mother, she's asking, how do I keep the student motivated for 4 years? What kept you motivated for 4 years, Srinath? So
Wow.
maybe you can answer that.
That's a very interesting question. For my
Yeah,
particular
obviously it's
case,
coming from a mother, so you
no,
will
I can
understand the
understand.
angles.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, for my particular case, I was called the Enthu cutlet of my class. So I would say I was the motivation source for my friends and for people around me. But parents also have an unseen role in this, where
Mm.
constant validation, constant communication makes a lot of difference. I remember when I was in college, in the start of the college, I'll be very honest, I did not call home for a month. I was like, oh, I'm here completely in this whole era. And my parents are like, oh, where have you disappeared? But later I
Mm.
realized how important that staying in touch, talking and communicating was, because when you're building your new self, it's important for your loved ones to also be in touch with that new version. And I think communication is something that will help completely. Just hearing out their rants, just saying कि जूरी में इतना खराब बोला ना सर ने ऐसा करके. It's okay. Just hear them out. Maybe just add to that masala. Get in that whole zone with them. Ki, oh, how would you have been done different, or maybe how the parents. So become a pal of your child, and I think that will sort of get you in that confidence zone yourself as a parent and the child. That okay, they get me, even if they don't know the nuances, at least they're there with whatever I'm going through or whatever I'm experiencing. So I think, yeah, that makes a lot of difference.
Okay, we are overshooting the time a little. So I just another 5 minutes, I think we should be wrapping up. I just want to drive a last question. There are multiple questions from the participants that are coming in, and I'd like to request all the participants that please send your questions to the admissions team, write your emails to the admission team, and we will definitely respond back to you. We will also be coming up with further webinars, and if you still have some unanswered question, because our time limit is that 60 minutes that we have, if you still have some unanswered question, feel free to ask again. Join us in the future webinars, and please ask your questions so that we can respond back to you. But this is one last question that I'll ask each one of you, and it's the big closing question, and I'd like an answer from all of you. I'll start with the youngest in the group, which is Jigyasa. Jigyasa, I'm asking you, if you were 18 again in 2026, would you still choose design? And if yes or no, then why?
I would definitely choose design. Because growing up, I've always been very inclined towards creativity. Right? I've always loved the process of creation, be it model making, be it sketching or anything. I've just always loved doing this. And I've always been a person who did not like to restrain myself to, books telling me what's right or wrong. Design is a field that it has no right or wrong. You have thousands of approaches to one particular prompt, and that freedom in itself is so motivating. The freedom that you get
So
in
true.
every possible form is, what keeps you so driven to design. And I think choosing design as my education right now is one of the best decisions I've taken for myself so far. And I think I will stick to that 100%.
Srinath, maybe you want to answer that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the times are uncertain, that's there. But I don't know. I mean, for sure, design is something that I was not completely into aware with my full awareness. It was something that came naturally as something that my parents sort of recognized, and they're like, "Oh, you could try this. You could give this a shot." And having the tinkeringness, having the whole space of making small games and sort of keeping people engaged to things is what sort of got me here. And yeah, I think I'd pretty much be interested and would sign up right now if I had the chance.
Wonderful. Sudhirji, if you were 18 again, now that sounds like a lovely thing to hear.
My God. No
Would you,
doubt,
if you,
design again. Repeat. I will do copy paste. I will be designer again.
but will there be a different angle to the way you were
Uh,
taught in those
yeah,
days versus
yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah,
learn
yeah.
now?
So I am a designer from a generation where forget computers. We didn't. Internet was not there. Computer was not there. We were all manually. We did. Yeah, if you give me technology edge again, and I would like to add that technology edge to my education. That will enhance more. Probably what I am today, I will be like 300% better than what. But I'm not regretting. But I go back. If I'm 18 again, I will be in design only, nothing else.
Professor Shekwan, how about you?
Hands down. Should
Hands
be
down?
like Sudhir. Yeah, I mean, I need today, I really feel like design is at the center of things today. Really, we need to reimagine the world. I mean, I'm so damn serious about it that we need to reimagine, we need to rethink, and design and designers are the people to reimagine that world. And they learn how to do that systematically. And I think that is where things stand. And if I mean, I graduated in art and then went to ITP at NYU in New York. And I mean, my focus was art. I have come to design through a lot of different processes, but I feel if I were to go to school again, I would go to a design school rather than an art school, because I think that's where I would learn to work with different disciplines, not just focus on a particular discipline. And I think design is a wonderful mix of both art and science. And I think that's where the science and art coming together can really help change things for better, change things better for humanity, change things better for the world of tomorrow. And more than anywhere else in the world, India needs lot of good designers. We really need to construct our society, change so many things, redo so many things. And I think in India, design field is not going anywhere. It will remain high in demand. I see a lot of questions, people thinking in India, don't worry, AI will not take your job. Jobs that are going to get automated will get automated. So don't worry. All repetitive tasks are going to get automated. Period. जो ऑटोमेशन हो सकता है वो ऑटोमेशन हो जाएगा, मगर systems thinking और imagination कहीं नहीं जाने वाला. That's where the designers really come in to do that. So be rest assured, your jobs are secure if you are willing to take responsibility, if you're a self-starter, if you can take initiative, then nothing can stop you. Sorry, I digressed from the
No, perfectly fine. Not. This is a little different question for you, Yuvraj ji, also from the finance and the sales team into design? Would you like to redo and relook at design as a career option since you work in a design institution?
So Apurva, a great question. When now having been here since more than 9 years or 10 years or so, I am a professional chartered accountant. I call myself as a designer of a financial statement only.
Okay.
When we see the design per se, what's the design in a one-liner or non-designer like me is say that there's a solution to any problem, and we all are solutionaries. And so uh, I am very much inclined, and I am learning and being there always with the students of the Anant National University are always there with the faculty members. I love to interact with them and learning the many design thinking processes. Yes, definitely. Why not?
Can I come in here? And I think
Sure.
the designer of finance, Yuvraj has answered it well, because I have gone to him many times for unbudgeted items, unplanned things. Okay, Yuvraj, this is a thing we need to do. These are the things we need to buy. Sorry, could not plan it, could not provision it in the yearly budget, which we do usually. And he said, okay, let me find a way. And he would do his jugglery and find a way, and it gets done. So, yes, you are a designer of financial.
So every problem solver is a designer in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, thank you so much, everybody, for coming here for this webinar today. I hope, dear participants, I hope we've been able to answer a lot of your questions. Like I mentioned before, in case we've missed out on anybody, apologies, but please do write back to us and we will definitely connect back with you. Our counselors will connect back with you. Thank you, Sudhir ji. Thank you, Yuvraj ji. Thanks, Jigyasa.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Professor
Apurva.
Shikwan. And thank you,
here-
Srinath.
Thank you, Apurva. Here, I would like to mention, and I would like to request each one of the participants and the others that seeing is always believing. We request you to visit our
Yes.
campus, and so that you can get the many answers over here on campus. This is the one of the opportunity or one of the things we would like to do through the webinar, but it's always good to see, believe, and then take the right decision. So
True.
we invite all the participants to be there and come visit the campus if you haven't yet, so that the many of the queries or many such things you can get in touch with the admissions team to schedule the same, so that you can meet all the members on campus too. Yeah, thank you, Apurva.
Thank you. On that note, have a great evening, everybody. I'd like to say goodbye and hope to all the participants, see you all on campus soon. Bye-bye.
Thank
All
you.
the